Hello learners, this is Habiba with Pedagogy of Social Sciences. Aims and objectives of learning social sciences, today's topic, and the subtopic is meaning of learning objectives. Introduction. Statement describing what a student is expected to learn from the lesson. That means we write the statements in the lesson plan that if we follow these objectives, what are we going to achieve from the students. Learning objectives provides a detailed description of what the student will be able to do when the instruction ends. That means after our teaching, what the student will be able to, that means understand, know, differentiate, that is learning objective. A teacher uses a learning directive to help students understand how to make practical use of information learned during the lesson. So, while writing the learning objectives, a teacher helps students to understand what is the practicality of the topics she is going to teach them. Now, what are aims? Aims are general statements that provide a direction or intent to educational action. That means aims are general statements which provide one direction, that means to move towards our goal. Aims are usually written in amphoristic terms using words like learn, know, understand, appreciate, and these are not directly measurable. That means aims may serve as organizing principles of educational direction for more than one grade. Now, what is an objective? An objective is a point or an end view of the possible achievement in terms of what a student is able to do when the whole educational system is directed towards educational aims. Aims are broad in nature. Objectives are narrower. That means through these objectives, what the teacher is going to achieve, that will be understood. Now, learning objectives. Learning objective is a statement that describes what the pupils will do or be able to do once the learning has been completed. It is a learning product that the teacher hopes will result from the learning, whether in a lesson, unit, course or curriculum. It is a terminal behavior expected of the pupils at the conclusion of the period of learning. That means a teacher prepares a lesson plan beforehand. While writing these lesson plan, they will write the objectives in the beginning. That means if I teach this lesson, what I am going to achieve from the students, that is very important. That is learning objective. Now, what are the steps for formulation of objectives? Let's understand. While formulating objectives of teaching or learning, following points should be kept in mind. First, the nature of the learner, the society and the subject matter. That means before writing the learning objective, we cannot write everything same for the students because different learners will be there. All the learners are not in a same category. That the teacher has to keep in mind, and the society and the subject matter also she has to keep in mind. The psychology of teaching or learning and philosophy of education is in general. Psychology, that means study of behavior in the teaching learning. Philosophy means love for wisdom of education in general. Influence of science and technology and socio-cultural conditions of the contemporary society. That is very important. That means while teaching social sciences, the science and technology, the socio-cultural conditions of the contemporary society to be kept in mind, that is very important. Now, let's differentiate between aims and objectives. Aim is a long-term statement of purpose that may be achieved over a long period of time, say 1 or more years. That means aims are longer terms. That means maybe in first grade, second grade, or 1 year or more than that it will take. That means developing a sense of inquiry in learners is an aim that may be achieved over a number of years. That means in class 5, they will start with maybe EVS. They will start inquiring. That will be achieved. Maybe in next number of years, they will achieve the sense of inquiry. Aim is a foreseen end. Aim, we can see the end. It is broader in sense. Just now we understood it is broader in sense. May or may not be easily observed. We cannot observe what the aims we achieved, but they are foreseen ends. May or may not be easily observed. Assessment of all the aims may not be objective in nature. That means you will be able to, we will write in the aim that you will be able to achieve so and so aims or goals. Now, objectives are sound in short or specified time of teaching learning period or during teaching learning. That means they are short specified. That means students will be able to understand so and so topic. That is, for example, conducting an activity to generate a question. For example, students will be given one activity so that they will generate some questions. That is short term specified. They are influenced by aims. These objectives are influenced by aims. You may need to state number of objectives to achieve one aim. In this sense, objectives are narrower. That means to achieve one aim, we have to write number of objectives. That should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant and time based. Learning objective is observable to achieve one aim. Just now we understood. That means, for example, we can take discriminate between weather and climate. In the class 6th, maybe one small learning objective to be achieved by the teacher from the students, that could be discriminate between weather and climate. That is a specified short objective. You can carry on the process of assessment of objectives to know whether the objectives have been achieved. That means different assessment processes also will be conducted to know whether these objectives are achieved or not. Now let's conclude this topic. Aim, what you hope to achieve. Now objective, the actions you will take in order to achieve the aim. Now aims are statements of intent. They are usually written in broad terms. They set out what you hope to achieve at the end of the project. Now objectives, on the other hand, should be specific statements that define measurable outcomes. For example, what steps will be taken to achieve the desired outcome. That is, strong verbs we should use. That is, collect. Students will be able to collect. If you give any project to the students, your objective will be students will be able to collect. Maybe construct. Students will be able to construct. Students will be able to classify. Students will be able to develop, devise, measure, produce, revise, select, synthesize. So these are the strong verbs should be used while writing the learning objectives. Now weak verbs: appreciate, consider, inquire, learn, know, understand, be aware of, appreciate, listen, perceive. Now objectives should also be SMART, which means they should be specific, be precise about what you are going to do. Then measurable, you will know when you have reached your goal. Then achievable, don't attempt too much. A less ambitious but completed objective is better than an over ambitious one that you cannot possibly achieve. Then realistic. Do you have the necessary resources to achieve the objective? That means time, money, skills, etc. That means it should be realistic. Then time constrained. Determine when each stage needs to be completed. Is there time in your schedule to allow for unexpected delays? So these are all very, very important. We come to the end of today's session. Thanks for your attention and time. As motivation, please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Happy learning.